Nerdy Sports Fan here with your divisional round pregame for the Colts versus the Chiefs. Now, this is going to be a great game, folks. The Chiefs are always fantastic at home, and in spite of their historical playoff woes under Andy Reid, this is a very, very different team. It's a young team led by Pat Mahomes, but very different, and they've got a different vibe to them. They didn't do the greatest down the stretch. Most of their losses came at the end of the season. They kind of put it in cruise control, combined with losing Kareem Hunt. So they had some finding of themselves to do. That could be at issue here because, let's face it, they sealed it against the Raiders. So it's not like they're cruising into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. Anybody can beat the Raiders, and they had at least last week off. The Colts, on the other hand, have been on fire to end the season. And they are coming off of a big win against their division rivals in Houston. So, different energies going into this game. You have very much a complacent, sort of middling energy vibe going on with Kansas City, and a very high energy, high intensity vibe going on with the Colts. Both offense-centric, but I will say the Colts have the stronger defensive unit. The Chiefs very much have the stronger offense. That's not a question here. But with the loss of Kareem Hunt, maybe you can't really say that. So if you look down the rosters, Luck versus Pat Mahomes, let's call that a push. Okay? You've got T.Y. Hilton, Tyreek Hill. Push. You've got Eric Ebron, Kelsey. I'd say Kelsey's an advantage. Not a big one, though. Running game, I would give the edge. Well, the running backs are pretty similar. Williams, Mack. Mack coming back from injury is big, though. Considering the loss of Hunt still felt, I'd say the Colts have a minor advantage there. Offensive line, advantage Colts. So, whereas schematically and firepower-wise, the Chiefs have been great all season long, that's not the team they've been post-Kareem Hunt. Now let's go on to the defensive side of things. Defensive secondary has been pretty bad for the Chiefs. They got Eric Berry back late in the season. So, assuming even an all-star like Berry is going to take a few weeks to get his legs underneath him, this might be the first game where he's actually running full speed. Now, that's going to be a difference maker, I'm sure. Linebacking core is useless for the Chiefs. Run defense in general is useless, but they have a fantastic pass rush. And I don't expect that to really show up this game. The Colts' offensive line is one of, if not the best in football right now. Quentin Nelson just changed the dynamic of that group so obviously. They've got a mean streak to them. They're big-bodied, and they've allowed far fewer sacks to Luck this year than the previous season. So I don't expect the pass rush to be a big deal for the Chiefs. Not to mention, they've got a solid running game for the Colts, so that's another thing that just naturally slows down a pass rush when you actually consistently keep the running game moving. This is not an offense that the Chiefs can simply outscore with abandon, so the defense isn't going to be able to just focus on the quarterback the whole game. On the Colts side of things, looking at their defense, they've got Jackson, he's great, fantastic rookie there, but no other real names. It's a Tampa 2 that relies on team speed, relies on effort. They're trying to fill all the gaps in their zone just by hustling. Now, that's fine against teams that don't have a glut of talent and speed on the offensive side, but the Chiefs do. So, I don't expect them to just manhandle the offense like they did against Houston. They're going to get scored on. Conversely, because the Chiefs' defense is relatively bad, they're going to be able to score. So this is a game where if I'm betting, I'm definitely taking the points and betting the Colts. This is going to be close, if not a Colts win. Personally, I think the Colts can and will go into Kansas City and win. The reasoning is simple. The Colts seem to have more energy pointed in that direction. This is the time of year that Andy Reid tends to choke, and Pat Mahomes is in his first season starting. He's got plenty of energy. He's got plenty of ability. He's got all the intangibles that you want a quarterback to have. He just doesn't have the experience. And I don't think he will be able to take it to that other level. To be honest, I'm not sure there is another level for Mahomes. He's been playing at such a high level. If you ask him to ratchet up the intensity, I'm not sure there's much further it can go to. And the Colts definitely proved they can ratchet up the intensity, put the clamps down on another team, and just dominate when they need to last week going into Houston. I understand they did it before, and Kansas City's not Houston. I think Houston's just as talented as Kansas City. I just don't think it's as loaded on the offense. They have more talent on the defensive side, so they're spread out. Kansas City is almost exclusively offense. They have a pass rush on their defense, and Eric Berry is a bit of an X factor, but I don't think it's enough. I think T.Y. Hilton is going to make the defensive secondary of the Chiefs look like chumps. I think that Mack is going to be able to run against the defensive front for the Chiefs very well. So I think that the Colts are actually going to have an easier go on offense, and it's a matter of being able to stop that fast-paced offense of the Chiefs, not so much a matter of being able to score points themselves. And of the two teams, the better defense lies with the Colts. So they're a complete team. Complete teams win in the playoffs. One-sided teams rarely do unless they're special. And the Chiefs lost their special when they cut Kareem Hunt.